What is happening, everyone, and welcome back to Tom Spotlight. The news cycle never sleeps, and neither do we. We're here to bring you the absolute latest, the most talked about, and the stories that are shaping our world right now. Get ready for a rapid-fire update that you won't want to miss. We're diving headfirst into a world of cinematic reinventions, star-studded reviews, and the intricate dance of modern relationships. You've tuned in at the perfect time, because we've got a breakdown of the stories that are making waves, from the most anticipated film releases to the deep dives into what really makes people tick. So buckle up, stay locked in, because the spotlight is on, and these are the updates you need to know. We're kicking things off with a look at a critically acclaimed film that's drawing major attention for its powerhouse cast and its bold take on a classic tale. Get ready for a deep dive into the performances that are defining the conversation. Then, we're shifting gears to explore the fascinating dynamics behind the scenes of this new cinematic offering, with exclusive insights from the actors themselves. We'll unpack the creative choices, the inspirations, and the vision that brought this story to life. But that's not all. We're also going to be examining the broader impact of these narratives, how they reflect our society, and what they tell us about ourselves. And finally, we're rounding out this episode with a look at another highly anticipated review that's got everyone talking. You do not want to miss a single second of this. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch shine in The Roses. This film is a masterclass in performance, with Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch delivering absolutely sublime and relentlessly entertaining portrayals. The review highlights their ability to be both deeply compelling and hilariously acerbic, creating a dynamic that is central to the film's success. Their chemistry, honed by years of friendship off-screen, translates into a single, powerfully cohesive unit on screen. They navigate the complexities of their characters' relationship with a dexterity that tethers extremes of desire and disgust, making it difficult to distinguish between the two. This emotional maximalism, coupled with a sharp, witty script, offers a refreshing contrast to the era's preference for simplicity. The narrative itself is a modern reimagining of the 1989 film The War of the Roses, adapted from Warren Adler's novel. It delves into the breakdown of a marriage, exploring how two individuals, aware of the potential pitfalls, still find themselves hurtling towards them. Screenwriter Tony McNamara has crafted a story that, while not as visually imaginative as its predecessor, captures a deeper, crueler tragedy. The film examines the delicate balance of ambition, partnership, and the societal pressures that constrain even the strongest bonds. It touches upon themes of gender dynamics, career trajectories, and the impact of external successes and failures on a marital union. The characters, Ivy and Theo Rose, played by Colman and Cumberbatch, meet in a whirlwind romance that quickly evolves into a fairy tale. However, as their professional lives diverge, with Ivy finding immense success as a chef and Theo facing professional disgrace, their relationship begins to unravel. The film cleverly uses these shifts in fortune to explore themes of jealousy, societal expectations of masculinity, and the compromises made in the name of partnership. The supporting cast, including Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon, adds layers to the narrative, though the focus remains squarely on the magnetic performances of the leads. Director Jay Roach has created a visually appealing film, even if the setting doesn't always feel authentic. The film is noted for its sharp dialogue, with Colman, in particular, delivering lines with an incomparable aplomb. Ultimately, The Roses is celebrated for its ability to keep the audience engaged through the sheer force of its lead actors' performances, making it a must-watch for fans of compelling drama and dark comedy. Will Reeve interviews The Roses, stars on Marital Meltdown. In an exclusive conversation, Will Reeve sits down with the stars of the highly anticipated film, The Roses, to discuss their captivating performances and the intricate themes explored in this dark comedy. The film, a reimagining of the 1989 classic, The War of the Roses, delves into the tumultuous breakdown of a marriage, presenting a narrative that is as darkly humorous as it is poignant. The actors themselves offer a fascinating glimpse into their creative process and the challenges of embodying characters caught in such a destructive spiral. The conversation likely touches upon the unique approach taken by screenwriter Tony McNamara, who has infused the story with his signature wit and a keen eye for the complexities of human relationships. Unlike a direct remake, this iteration focuses on the psychological aspects of marital discord, exploring how awareness of potential pitfalls doesn't always prevent individuals from falling into them. The actors discuss how they prepared for roles that require them to portray a wide spectrum of emotions, from intense desire and affection to bitter resentment and outright animosity. They might share anecdotes from the set, discussing their chemistry with each other and how they built the believable, albeit volatile, connection between their characters, Ivy and Theo Rose. Reeve likely probes into the film's exploration of societal pressures and gender dynamics, particularly how shifts in career success and ambition can impact a partnership. The narrative, as described, sees one partner achieve significant professional acclaim while the other experiences a major setback, leading to a shift in their established roles and a rise in underlying tensions. The actors would have discussed how they approached these sensitive themes, aiming to portray the characters' struggles with authenticity and nuance. They might also touch upon the film's setting and directorial choices, with director Jay Roach aiming for a specific aesthetic that complements the story's dark comedic tone. The interview could also highlight specific scenes or lines of dialogue that were particularly challenging or rewarding to perform, offering viewers a deeper appreciation for the craft involved. The discussion would underscore the film's commitment to character development and its ability to balance moments of sharp wit with profound emotional depth, making The Roses a standout in contemporary cinema. Review: The Roses, a relentlessly entertaining marital meltdown. This review paints a vivid picture of The Roses, a film that boldly reimagines the 1989 classic, The War of the Roses. The central premise revolves around the catastrophic breakdown of a marriage, where desire and disgust become inextricably intertwined. The film is lauded for its relentlessly entertaining nature, driven by the sublime performances of Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch, who embody the tumultuous journey of Ivy and Theo Rose. Their chemistry is described as a single, cohesive unit, operating at a low simmer of hysteria that is both farcical and believable. Screenwriter Tony McNamara has infused the narrative with an emotionally maximalist wit, creating a story that is arguably crueler than its predecessor. It highlights how individuals, fully aware of the potential pitfalls in a relationship, can still choose paths that lead to its destruction. The film's critique extends to societal trends, suggesting that in an era prioritizing efficiency and simplicity, such intense emotional expression is rare. The review notes the film's ability to tether extremes of desire and disgust so closely that the distinction blurs, offering memorable lines that resonate with raw emotion. While the film may lack the visual imagination of the original, its strength lies in the performances and the sharp, often profane, dialogue. Colman, in particular, is praised for her delivery, adding a unique flair to the character. The narrative follows Ivy and Theo from their whirlwind romance, sparked in a restaurant walk-in fridge, to the eventual unraveling of their marriage. The turning point comes when Ivy's seaside restaurant, We've Got Crabs, receives a rave review, while Theo's architectural venture collapses. This shift in fortune, with Ivy becoming the primary breadwinner and Theo grappling with his wounded pride and societal expectations, fuels the marital discord. The film explores how Theo's reaction involves turning their children into athletic machines, a stark contrast to Ivy's initial sacrifice of her ambitions. The relationship is likened to that of Catherine the Great and Peter III, as depicted by McNamara in The Great, emphasizing the volatile mix of love and hate. Despite the director Jay Roach's aseptic visual style and the questionable casting of American locations as Northern California, the film's core remains the dynamic between Colman and Cumberbatch. Their performances are the anchor, making the escalating conflict compelling. The supporting cast, including Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon, are seen as mere accessories, outshone by the leads. Ultimately, The Roses is celebrated for its potent portrayal of a marriage's disintegration, driven by the exceptional talent of its lead actors. The Roses review: acerbic wit and stellar performances anchor marital comedy. This review positions The Roses as a film elevated by the sublimely acerbic performances of Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman. Their dynamic as Theo and Ivy Rose, whose marriage spirals from bliss into mutual destruction, is the engine that keeps Jay Roach's reimagining of The War of the Roses zingy. The film is noted for the palpable electricity generated by the caustic British barbs exchanged between the leads, a stark contrast to the blunter attempts at wit seen elsewhere in the film. This combative chemistry is central to making the movie work, even when it teeters on the edge of turning from savage to sour. Screenwriter Tony McNamara, drawing inspiration from Warren Adler's novel rather than solely the 1989 film, injects thorny gender dynamics and career trajectory shifts into the narrative. While perhaps not funnier than the original, Cumberbatch and Colman lend their own vinegary spin to McNamara's dialogue, which is laced with spectacular flights of profanity, with Colman notably dropping the C-word with aplomb. The film begins with a hilariously tense couples therapy session, revealing the deep-seated mutual loathing beneath the surface, a moment that slyly skewers the British-American cultural divide through the characters' shared amusement at the therapist's surrender. The story traces the Rose's relationship from its passionate beginnings in London, where Theo impulsively commits to join Ivy in her culinary dreams in the U.S., to their life in Mendocino, California, a decade later. The equilibrium is shattered when Theo's ambitious museum project collapses spectacularly, leaving him unemployable, while Ivy's seafood restaurant, We've Got Crabs, garners critical acclaim. This reversal of fortunes leads Ivy to suggest she become the primary earner while Theo cares for their children. However, Theo's wounded pride and ingrained male ambition lead him to push their children into intense athletic training. As Ivy's business flourishes, Theo's resentment grows, culminating in the construction of a dream house that becomes a symbol of their escalating conflict. The review points out that the film's supporting characters, despite featuring talented comic actors like Andy Samberg, Kate McKinnon, Jamie Demetriou, and Zoe Kao, often feel underdeveloped and serve more as plot devices than fully realized individuals. The presence of a pistol, introduced early on, functions as a narrative device, but the character's gun enthusiasm feels unearned. The standout supporting role is Allison Janney as Ivy's divorce lawyer, who injects energy into her scenes. Ultimately, the film thrives when it focuses on the escalating tension between Theo and Ivy, particularly as their divorce negotiations become more contentious and their destructive impulses take over. The review concludes that while Roach's touch might not always be the lightest, the film's success hinges on the leads' ability to eviscerate each other while simultaneously conveying a deep, albeit destructive, compatibility. And that's a wrap on today's Spotlight. We saw how Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch delivered sublime performances in The Roses, a dark comedy reimagining a classic marriage breakdown. We've got exclusive insights from the actors themselves, diving deep into their craft and the film's themes. We also explored another review of The Roses, praising its relentlessly entertaining nature and acerbic wit, and another critic highlighted the stellar performances that anchor this marital comedy. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe for more, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and drop a comment below telling us your thoughts on these stories. You can also follow us on all our social media channels for more behind-the-scenes content and breaking news. Thanks for watching Tom Spotlight.